So now we're going to do number 2, which is the AND gate. I'm going to go to digital and I'm going to select digital constant and to schematic connectors and select ground. And this time I need 2 switches. So I'm going to go down to switches and I'm going to select SPDT. I'm going to rotate it twice. And then you can just click on Control C, Control V to copy and paste it. Or you can just go to duplicate and then paste it. I'm going to connect my input of 1 to the top of the switches. So it's going to go to the top of the first switch and the top of the second switch. And then I'm going to put 0 or ground as the bottom option for both switches. Then I need to go to analysis and annotation and get 3 digital probes. I'm going to place 2 of them on this side next to each other. And then one of them will be the output probe that I'm going to put all the way over on the right. I'm going to name the first probe, so if you click on it, you can either change it here or on the right-hand side, we can change it to X. If you get this error message where it says X is already in use, that might be because right here you have a probe called X, so you could just call this X2. I'm going to click on this one and I will call it Y2, and then this one will be called Z2. Last thing I need is on the left-hand side, I'm going to go back down to digital and select AND gate, and we want a 2 input AND. So I'm going to place that 2 input AND right between the probes, and I'm going to attach the top of the switch to the top of the input for the AND gate, and I'm going to go to click J on my keyboard and connect that digital probe to that wire. And then I'm going to connect the bottom switch to the second input of the AND gate. And I want so I'm going to click J, my probe, to be connected to just the bottom wire. You can move it so it's in line. Oh, I deleted it. If that happens, just go back and get a new probe. We named it Y2. And again, you have to click J. To connect it. So you only want this one, Y2, to be connected to the bottom input. Do not connect it to this wire as well. And then my output Z, I'm going to click J. I can connect it to my output. Now if we look back at the activity, we can see that when X and Y are both 0, what happens? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press save. And then I'm going to put both of the switches so that their input is 0. So when I press play, you can see that when X and Y are 0, Z is also 0. So in your truth table in the first row, you would put 0 for Z. Next, we want to make it so X is 0 and Y is 1, so we click the switch. Y becomes 1. When X is 0 and Y is 1, Z is still 0. Next, we want to do X is 1 and Y is 0. When that happens, we get Z as 0 for our output. And then the last one, we want X and Y to both be 1. And you can see when X and Y are both 1, then Z is 1. Make sure you click stop before you make your next circuit, and then try to figure out why this is called an AND gate.